Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Some Like It Pop, a bi-weekly look at the latest in pop culture. This is PopCrush Editor-in-Chief Bradley Stern.
This is Associate Editor Ali Zubiak.
And I'm Matt Donnelly, and I am a senior writer.
Today we are missing Sam, which is clear because everyone's been thrown off by her absence. We miss you, Sam.
We miss you, Sam.
Yeah.
So, everything happened in the past week that we have not discussed.
It's been a busy couple days.
It's been a good day. Good day for PopCrush.
Sure,
so good.
Certainly has been.
One of the first things we have to discuss, because I'm in charge, is that Miss Britney Spears made her grand comeback on Friday evening.
You thought he was going to say the Republican National Convention, but
You
that's
thought
not
wrong.
the direction he went.
Featuring Tamira Gray.
Yeah.
Britney Spears is back with a new song called Make Me, featuring G-Eazy.
Wait, is the ooh part of the title? That's just implicit.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
No, so
It's just
the ooh
Make
was
Me.
there for a long time.
Right.
It was assumed to be in the title.
Right.
It was taken off.
That's good either
Wow.
way.
Yeah.
Can't
That's
believe
the
it.
official scoop. So I have spoken at length about the song in a 1,150 word review on the site, which you can read on popcrush.com.
It's been shared quite a few times.
So what are your thoughts about the song? Because we all know where I stand.
Right.
My thoughts were...
Okay.
Go for
I
it.
personally actually really like it. I am not a Britney stan by any means, but I also don't dislike her at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting this song. I was expecting something really upbeat and like dancing, but it's like the complete opposite of that.
You thought wrong.
Right, exactly. I also had favorable thoughts, and I, like Ali, have not totally been a disciple of hers, but I thought it was Brad shaking his head at me. I liked it a lot. I listened to it all weekend, actually. I listened to it in my morning routine. I went running to it.
Oh.
I fell asleep. I wound down at the end of the day to it. It was really very...
That's like really
It was
exhausting.
multi-purposeful.
Get a life, Matt.
Thank you.
That's disgusting. So, real talk. Do you guys think, because I can't answer this question objectively, do you
Right.
think that this has a chance of actually getting her on the radio again for the first time in 5 or 6 years?
I think it does because it follows the trend. Like, it's very much like what Rihanna put out, what Demi probably wants to do.
Poor Demi.
Selena, which is sad because I'm sure Britney probably thought of it first, but just had trouble actually getting it out there. She probably wants to have her album coming soon, too.
Yeah. So they tend to kind of stall with her, and I feel like this song was probably in the can for a good year or so. but
Yeah.
they wanted to have an album with it. So now she's a bit late to the party with that whole R&B sound, I will say. But
It sounded like something I would hope to hear on the radio in this landscape, but as someone who was in the car for many hours this weekend, driving to a wedding in Maine,
right. Tell us about it.
Did not hear it once. My friend got married in a barn in Maine, and we drove to it, and it took 6 hours longer than expected combined.
It's a great story.
I heard lots and lots of the Song of Summer Contenders. I did not hear Britney once.
Did you hear Katie's song?
I heard Rise 2 or 3
I
times.
didn't hear it at all. I was also in the car, though, only for probably 2 hours this weekend. And I heard a lot of Can't Stop the Feeling. That was everywhere.
geez
And
Louise.
the Calvin Harris,
Taylor
Rihanna,
Swift,
Taylor
co-penned.
Swift song.
Lots of Sia. Yeah.
Yeah, and lots of Sia.
Lots of
Sia, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Katie really had some nerve, and I was rooting for her, but
That song, oh my God, that song.
it's just
I
Roar
can't-
Part 2.
Right. And I realized with her, I was sort of like trying to separate the words and the track. And I realized I don't dislike the track that much. I realized her lyrics have become so grating to me that I can't even listen to them anymore, because what I appreciated about her toward the earlier moments of her career was sort of her quirky lyrics. I remember that first album, you know, the songs she would write for other people. Her Kelly songs are two of my favorites, and just over the years they've just become so remedial. There's something about like negotiating in the song. It was like, am I at a brand summit at a Best Western? Like, where have I landed with
Have you
Katie?
been there before?
I've been there, yeah. Once or twice. Sponsored by...
Yeah, I think it was the timing of it because of the Taylor versus Calvin at that moment, and they probably bumped that up a week or something.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. But
Yeah.
it was a bad. Actually, the only good thing that came of it was during the whole, I don't know if I should bring this up now,
You should.
the Taylor Swift versus Kim Kardashian debacle. And then Katie responded by just promoting her single.
Her single, right? Rise
Twitter.
above it all. Hashtag rise above it all.
That was great. That was such a good moment.
That was good. Yeah,
With
Britney
her
stayed
eyes.
silent because she's at a water park right now instead of promoting her single. So if you're hearing this,
Some might
Britney,
call that promotion enough.
Make Me is literally her response to being asked to do promo.
Make me
So-
promote this.
Yeah. So despite all the streaming challenges that her fans did over the weekend, that's, she's not going to be responding to that. Anyway, so.
But the fans
Taylor-
have gone sort of renegade. We just saw before we came in here that photo from the RNC in Cleveland. Someone held up a sign in view of CNN cameras that said, "Buy Make Me" on iTunes. And to that I say, I did. So mission
Thank you for doing
accomplished.
So we touched on this. Obviously, the other big story beginning Sunday night was Kim K providing all of the receipts against Taylor Swift in this now very tiresome battle about the origin of the lyric in Famous by Kanye West. If you haven't already seen all this, which
I've not heard of this.
yes, this is the first time you're hearing about it, I know. So there's a lyric in Kanye's Famous, and he says, I have a feeling, what was it? I have a
might
feeling
still
me,
have
yeah,
text-
might still have
text,
sex.
yeah.
I made that beach famous.
There you go.
I don't even know if we can swear on here. I'm still unclear. We can.
That's explicit.
You
Yeah.
can.
All
Why
right.
not?
Yep. So Taylor had an issue allegedly with that line and then said that there was a phone conversation, but she didn't know about that line. And so Kim leaked this footage of her very much being like, wow, this is like a compliment. Like she was so happy when he read the lyric to her and explained it. But we didn't actually hear him say that line, or did we?
No, he didn't say that bitch, but he said pretty much all of the rest of it.
Right,
Yeah.
but if you leave her a loophole, like she will find
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So I feel like they did not do due diligence. They should have had front to back
All the
Here's
lyrics.
everything we
Yeah.
said.
Right. The only issue is that Taylor made it about something else. She made it about the fame line. I mean, her entire Grammy speech
Right.
was about how, other people try and claim
Great
that,
point.
Right.
your fame is theirs and they created you, blah, 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 whatever. And so it's just like how phony she is.
Yeah.
It's grasping at straws.
I think we talked
2.0.
about, didn't we talk about this on
It's
like
likely.
a past podcast?
The speech or the.
No, do you believe whose side are you on?
Oh,
I'm
yes,
pretty
I think
sure
we
we
touched
did.
on that. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're going in deep because Kim just exposed her.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore.
Was that a supplement to the episode, by the way, of Keeping Up?
Yes, it was. It was
God.
like literally on
See,
the
that's good
episode. They
promo.
were. They're so good on National Snake
Yeah.
Day.
They
Might have well said
Exactly.
like, watch next week at 10 or 10:30.
And then if you looked at Taylor's Instagram that night, it was just filled with snake
Snake
emojis,
emojis.
everywhere.
Right.
Which allegedly Instagram helped to delete. Which
Yeah, I don't know if it was, but I know that they put a limit on the amount of snakes.
the amount of
you can
snakes you could leave on her
What's,
post.
is it not 140?
I
You can
guess
do 139 snakes? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, maybe they like
26.
All right.
set a limit of
26.
snakes.
26 snakes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
So
the
this
limit.
is kind of the first public crack in the Taylor Swift otherwise perfect persona. Do we think this is the beginning of the end of Taylor's reign?
I think it
Hopefully?
depends on how she handles it. She's already handled it really poorly. Her statement was terrible. I can't believe she went with that angle. And her whole, I don't want to be part of this anymore. I haven't been trying to involve myself
Remove
since 2009.
myself from the narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, well, that's funny because the year after the VMAs, you replayed what happened on stage and played a song dedicated to Kanye
Right.
West.
I
Oh.
think
Right,
her
revisionist.
fans sort of parallel the GOP right now, which is that like if and
Go
well,
for it.
what I'm saying is I feel like the Swift loyal will remain the Swift loyal, and this will not dissuade them from being in that territory.
I feel like that's true of most artists and their fans too.
And they'll find a way to support her. And again, that loophole, I'm sure people will grab onto that and say, she has a point. She made a point. They didn't say this line that she had an issue with. So
True.
should they? I don't know. And I also think there's a crowd that can separate her music from the whole sort of like celebrity gamut. And I think that'll be another. I don't think she's going to disappear from the charts, but maybe hopefully from the celebrity news circuit a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to turn on her in a big way, at least online. But as
Yeah.
you said, not most people, but a bunch of people do not even look at the specifics of, what she says and does on social media. They just really like wildest dreams.
Although I did see one encouraging little tweet storm that was tantamount to Tyra Banks, we were all rooting for you, and I really appreciated that. It was basically a giant "Be Quiet, Tiffany," and I liked it.
Yeah. I think she's caught, and I think she has to let this blow over, because if she tries to make this another song or a speech, it's really...
Oh, man.
It's Inception level. It's like a song about a relationship about a song.
About all leading back to really Beyonce,
Right.
which is, I think everyone forgets that part. It's like because of Beyonce's video that Kanye leapt up. That
I
all
blame
of this
MTV personally.
Yes.
Right?
True.
Let's go there.
Let's go to
if
the
they
VMAs,
had awarded
yeah.
the right artist, we could have avoided all of this.
But I mean, this also is beneficial for everyone involved, because now people are going to watch the VMAs and wonder if something's going to happen there.
That's
like
true.
it all
It
snowballs.
can't. I mean, the last one was so manufactured; it wasn't even entertaining. The one where she gave Kanye the Lifetime Achievement Award.
God.
That was
If
embarrassing.
there's any sort of collision of the personalities, I will deliberately start to ignore all of them, which I almost already do. But
Yeah.
it's too contrived. And is this even a publicity stunt? Like, who am I to say that it's not?
No.
Like, maybe it is. Maybe
There's
this is a
no
big
way
conspiracy.
I've actually read a lot of people think that it's a
That they're both
publicity
in it
stunt on
together.
both ends.
Yeah.
But Taylor would never, ever in her life risk tarnishing her image in such a huge, massive way.
Didn't the phone call prove that's exactly what she just did?
But she wouldn't, like, she had no idea that was going to happen, and it was going to come back and bite her in the ass. She did not know.
But the important point from the story that came out today, which is that she knew that the call was probably being recorded because she was on speaker and she knew other people were party to the call. And I can't imagine that if she knew all of that she would have been as forthright as she was. I think she would have covered her bases a little more carefully.
So do
I
you
don't know.
believe that it's a conspiracy?
I don't decisively believe that. I don't care enough to decisively believe that. All I'm saying is that I wouldn't put it past them at this point because they are both proven I don't want to say sociopath. What I want to say is that they will do anything to sort of compound their twisted fame.
Taylor doesn't, neither one of them actually needs any more press.
But the mind of a famous person to their level doesn't work that way. They subsist on it. They
Yeah.
feed off
They're not,
of increased
They don't
fame.
feel like they're
Yeah.
set. There's
Right.
always more that they
She
can
is
do.
especially-
I don't know. I just feel like I really just don't think she would want to ruin
If Kanye
her.
was
I don't
really
either.
so committed to his art, then he would not have mentioned her at all in his album. And the same goes for her. She would not have alluded to him the way that she has. They would have just let it go.
I think
like a
subtly
normal
they
person,
both-
we would have let it go.
Yeah, they both know that it's helping in a
Oh,
way.
yeah. But I think Taylor's, personally, I think she's in Australia devastated right now.
You think she's devastated?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
But where's that line of Mean Girls, which I just rewatched on Netflix, that said, like, they always just want to know that people are talking about them. That's just how the mind of a person like that functions, is even good or bad. Like, I'm sure there was an initial hurt, and then she was probably like, oh, I'm still,
So
Yeah,
you're
but-
implying that she's Regina George.
As did her former
as did-
classmate, who
Yes.
accused her at 11 years old of ripping his pictures off the wall of the promotion of their school play.
The only thing is Taylor's so desperate to be liked. I don't know if you've ever met, okay, I've obviously never met her and I don't know her personally, but I've met people like her, or at least my perception
This is
of
the
her.
evidence.
Quickly
This is
collapsing
the PopCrush
defense.
receipts that are going to rival Kim K.
She just seems like she never wants to upset anyone or ruffle anyone's feathers or have anyone say anything negative about her. And she's done that by manipulating the press over and over again.
That's the celebrity construct. Is
No.
that you can be one way to your fans, and behind closed doors, you're complete. I mean, that's the case with so many people. Is they have a fan base because they know how to give a good interview, and then when all the doors are closed.
But not even fans. I mean, she used to handwrite letters and send them to radio stations.
I do
and-
think it's curated. Her squad is certainly
Oh,
falling
yeah,
in
that's a
line.
whole other
I heard
topic.
from a source that shall not be named that right before her, before Kanye's fashion show, she like mass texted the squad and was like, "If any of you tweet about or show up at that, like you're cut." And that was from
What?
that was from somebody from that squad. So
Yeah, and of course, like you said, this is not to discount a lot of the great things that she does, which are helpful to many people and causes and things. But
I personally like her music too. That's the best part. I have seen her twice in concert,
all right, now you're getting out of control. Now this is disgusting.
but I can also like see, I can see her for who she really
Yes.
is.
a snake.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Very
26
conflicting.
snakes.
Yes. I also want to talk about the responses to this from celebrities, which ranged from crazy to hilarious. My favorite, of course, being Selena Gomez.
Oh, God.
Who immediately jumped in, just like full force to be like, why doesn't anyone talk about important things? Like, while her last tweet is like to promote her latest like fashion endeavor, and then like to promote her latest song. She is a Loyal Squad member, of course. And then she said something so awful because somebody called her out for not talking about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And she deleted the response immediately. I don't remember it verbatim. Do you have it on the top of your mind?
It was something about how hashtags don't change anything. I'm not going to take sides, which was the real problem with her tweet.
Right.
And then you don't know what I do. Or something.
Right. It ended with you don't know what I do.
Right.
Sure.
Which was, So she was really shooting from the hip there and reacted very strongly. And then so did Chloe Grace Moretz, who decides to dictate what people should or shouldn't care about.
My favorite part, really quickly, before we keep talking about this, is that someone noticed a trend, like we said, with the squad, which is there was basically a call that was like, ladies, get in formation. And then they just all said what we just mentioned. And then Haley Steinfeld was like, guys, don't you love cereal?
That was her way of interpreting that tweet, I guess.
It was a very abstract, but nonetheless effective.
Yeah, Chloe also did, and then I accidentally dragged her on Twitter because her tweet right before that was about her couple. Somebody just died. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was tough day.
So Khloe Kardashian, who already was not happy with Chloe Grace Moretz, decided to tweet a picture, which was this shut down the party. This was like,
it ruined everything.
It was too far. Yeah. She did a picture of Chloe's bikini like coming down in the water while she was filming Neighbors 2, which is like, it doesn't prove or say anything.
Yeah, it was a total non sequitur argument. It didn't say anything other than that she can be provocative and obscene.
Yeah, so that effectively shut down the Taylor Swift is over party on Twitter, which was really like fun for a time. But
that's why the whole thing, I don't even feel inclined to take sides or like look at it really objectively. It's just like it was a grimy song, it was a grimy concept, it was written about a grimy situation, and this is only added to the griminess of all of it. And
you wipe your hands clean of this.
I do. I put on that Purell, and
that's
I'm
why
a new
it's
man.
fun, is because like I am not emotionally invested in either side.
Exactly, we
so
talked
I will
about that.
be happy to drag whatever is coming our way.
Right,
but
I think they're both gross and responsible for different things in different ways.
He's going in.
Sorry.
Keep going, Matt.
No, that's pretty much the long and short of it.
One of my favorite parts of the video is how Kanye is so nice to Taylor. Like, he's like, yeah, like, I don't want to write raps that hurt people, especially you as my friend. And he's just like really going in about how much he wants to be friends with Taylor. I'm like, God, they're both so fake. It's like
pandering.
Unbelievable.
Did anybody else come out in support of Kimye, of the celebrities? Well, Demi, reliably petty Demi. Demi doesn't ever like come out and say it. She likes to subtweet or sub-like.
What was that? I didn't see that one.
She just liked a tweet that said, "Oh my God, I love Kim Kardashian."
Oh, right.
So she liked that, and that was enough because she knew that would be enough of a statement to be like Team Kimye. She's also had her fair share of war with Taylor Swift for deciding,
everyone else.
Didn't, strangely enough, famous momager Kris Kardashian try to mitigate all of this by saying like, you should call Taylor and like discuss this rationally, and she said, no thank you, mother.
She did. There's a gif of that on the Keeping Up with Kardashians Twitter, which I almost want to vomit for saying that. But she said that, but she meant like on a camera in front of millions of people. You should have that discussion.
Right.
Like, she was thinking about money still. But I think that this is the first time also that Kim has ever come for somebody. She's always been like overly nice. So more people felt that she was correct because she would never say something mean unless she really meant it. And it was really, really...
You had to correct me on that because I remember my first instinct was to assume that she said terrible things all the time, and you both said to me like, no, she really doesn't do that.
Her
sisters
Chloe,
do.
like, please.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what I had it confused for.
Yeah, no, she always keeps it very right down the middle because she doesn't want to
Right.
offend any sensibilities.
Katie
And she
Weaver,
also
thank
tweets
you
about
for
political
this.
things when necessary.
It's true.
Which
She's
is more
gotten
than
much
some
more
of these.
vocal.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of these girls saying focus on the important issues, and they've never actually tweeted about them.
So what's up next for Kim, do you suppose?
What's up next for Kim?
That's a good question,
Like
actually.
in the span of her life.
Now that she's drummed up the nerve to
to be outspoken
upend
about.
pop
Yeah.
at its roots.
Well, everyone just called for her to keep dishing out things. They're
Right.
like, "What do you have on Trump?" Like,
That's true.
Oh,
I saw
right.
that.
That was pretty
Yeah.
funny. The Matt Belisari tweet I thought was pretty funny.
I mean, she kind of just
Investigative
asserted herself.
journalism.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if this means that she will have the nerve to now sort of take on her husband's sense of shading people left and right. But
I feel like she won't do it unless it's to prove something for her family.
yeah,
She's not so petty that she's just going to start, whipping stuff out at random.
Not like
Even though
me.
I wish she would.
yeah. It would be a lot more entertaining and certainly great for our website, popcrush.com, where you can find all the latest gossip. One last thing that I want to mention, and I have nothing to say about it, but I implore you all to check it out, is while this was all happening, something even better happened sort of below the radar.
Is that a shark reference?
Below the water surface, you might say. Sharknado star Tara Reid appeared on Jenny McCarthy's radio show to promote her new movie, Sharknado 4.
What didn't she go there to promote?
She did not go there to talk about her reality show, Marriage Boot Camp.
She didn't, and she made that very clear.
She made that very clear before the interview, but Jenny was not having it. And so she immediately launched in with some questions about the show. And Tara didn't take kindly to that at all. And what happened was a series of insults that I'm going to use for the next few weeks about their appearance, about their career choices.
They will be
It's a
adopted
good
into our
exchange.
lexicon for sure.
Yeah. What were some of my favorites? I hope you stay married. Oh, I hope you stay married too. And
Can you even imagine?
I hope your legs keep wobbling. Was
Your
that
knees
the-
keep wobbling.
Your knees keep wobbling. I hope your tits keep getting better than they are. That was my favorite as well.
Yeah. These are all, wonderful hopes from one to the other.
That's just what one woman
What
said
was
to
the
another
last
on a
one? It
radio
was
show.
like, can't wait to see Sharknado 18.
18. That was a good
Oh
one.
yeah, that was the zinger at the very end. Can't wait for Sharknado 18.
I mean, we can't see this. Obviously, it was a radio show, but
Yeah.
the audio would lead me to believe that Jenny had said that when Tara was long gone.
Yeah.
On her
Yeah, it
allegedly
sounded like she had
walking
walking
long
away.
departed the building by that point.
Yeah.
But we can't fully do it justice.
No.
So you're going to need to go to popcrush.com to listen to that whole exchange.
And
It's a little
only like 2
slurry.
minutes,
Yeah, it's only 2
so-
minutes. A little
Worth
slurry.
it.
On Tara's side, I mean.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you give your best shot.
Yeah. Yeah. And we also transcribed it.
We
So don't
did.
worry.
Yes, it's all up there.
Yeah.
I
Great.
did it. So,
Thanks, Allie.
sure.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's about it for today. So that was a whole bunch of things at once. Thanks for joining us. For more, follow us on Twitter and Instagram and
Snapchat.
PopCrush. Snapchat's PopCrush Snap. Follow us on YouTube at PopCrush Music, and of course, popcrush.com for all the latest. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Good luck on Sharknado 18.